Alright, so we went to the London Geek Expo at Docklands and ran into the amazing Michael Hogan, who plays Colonel Tigh in Battlestar Galactica. And he had a bunch of really cool stuff to say about the character and the show. So here's some of it, starting with his less than great reaction about finding out that he's a Cylon.
I can't say it had really changed, but the interesting thing about the writers, Ron and David, and the writers, is as they've gotten to know me over the years, I think they write these challenges for Hogan, for Tigh, and therefore Hogan, because they know me well enough now that they go, "You would be interesting if we got Tigh to do this," because it's equally as interesting to watch Hogan play it. They know that the integrity I brought to the role, for example, to give me something that is below his dignity but has to pull off or whatever. So I was not happy playing a Cylon. I wasn't happy with the decision, but that probably is one of the reasons why they went, it would be cool, because watch how Hogan and Tigh therefore squirms underneath this burden. Because I did treat it as opposed to other actors' choice of how to deal with, and therefore characters' choice of how to deal with the realization. It was a mental illness more than it was anything. I have been punished physically so much in my life. I have been through so much emotional stress in my life. My constant use of alcohol, I'm a functioning alcoholic. I'm not surprised that I'm hearing music. I'm not surprising I'm losing my balance as I'm walking down the street. I love the fact that in the trial, when Mark Shepard's character said, "You've been drinking, Colonel," and I honestly say to him, "I had a couple of drinks. I haven't been drinking," because that's not drinking. You know, I'll go drinking, but I had a couple of drinks to stabilize myself. But so I genuinely, I'm not being witty. I mean it. No, I wasn't drinking. I just had a drink. What? To him, it's like, "Oh, you've been drinking." Well, I'm like this all the time. So it wasn't the way when they go, okay, the Tyrrell says, "That's it, we're Cylon." They go, "Cylon? I mean, whatever I am, I'm going to be me, and that's what I'm going to do. Whatever, if they put a chip in my head, or whatever." I mean, my big fear as Tigh is that I said earlier, the most dangerous person alive. There's only 30-some thousand of us left, humans. If I'm not the oldest, I am certainly the most experienced in combat, hand-to-hand combat with the actual Cylons and with the Centurions. So if in fact somehow I was latent a Cylon, or if they put a chip in my head, I'm terrified, because I am the most dangerous human being or Cylon alive. And that neat scene that they had at the beginning where Almos or Adama tells me to do something in the CIC, I don't know whether to jump the ship or whatever, and I just look at him and he goes, "Hey, what's the matter with you?" I said, "Do this," and I just stick the gun and blow his head off.
Yeah.
And then you go, "Whoa." But that to me is a wonderful scene, because that's what I'm afraid of. I can do that.
Now, Colonel Tigh is a lot of people's favourite character on the show. He's certainly one of mine, but I also love Starbuck, I also love Baltar, I also love Roslyn. Equally with Tigh, well, he's pretty badass. So we asked him why he thinks Tigh has become so popular with the fans and a lot of people's favourite.
I think because he is consistently human. He doesn't play any games, and because we're viewers, we can see what's going on. Early on, when it started, we didn't know as a viewer enough about him. So when I was gruff and rude and drunk, abusive, we didn't know much about him. And now, every episode, we learn a little bit more about him, and we watch what he goes through and what he has to accept and rise and accept. So we get to know him so well that you go, "You know what, man? If I trust anybody on that ship, I trust Tigh. He's going to tell me the truth. He knows it's going to rip me apart, but he's going to." And any untoward act that he's done, we now know as the viewer. That wonderful writing of when he has to get rid of Ellen. We as the viewer go, "Oh my God," because you feel foolish or whatever you call it. You feel for him that he has to do it because we're behind enemy lines. The battle is raging. We've got to get out of there. She has collaborated with the enemy. We've seen her do that. So you know that, you know what, she's got to go. There's no way we can bring anybody on board. We can only get as many people as we can on this exodus. She's got to go. So we as the viewer can see that. And when the wonderful scene when we get back up onto the ship and the Battlestar and Adama says, "Welcome back. You brought him. You brought him back. You brought him home." And I say, "Not all of them." That to me just sums up the whole thing in that simple little frame. And you watch Tigh turn around, the broken man. He's been tortured. He's had his eye pulled out. He's had to kill his wife, and they're going, "Adama, Adama," and he just looks around and you go, "Whoa!" That's why I think we go, you know, who's my favorite character? Tigh, man. Look at, he's not fun to be around. He's this or that, and especially when, you know, when people are alcoholics are drinking, and when they're rocking on and really drinking, they're kind of fun to be around. Like any of your friends, you go, "Oh, you know," they say, "Do you want to go out?" And you say, "Well, actually, I'm on the wagon for a bit." And you go, "Oh, cool. Well, okay, give me a call sometime." Or whatever. You know, but I think that's why Tigh grows into being people's favorite character of all, because of what they've given me. You know, and I called Ron once from Moore, and we were talking about something, and I guess it was maybe the New Caprica stuff at the time, or one of those times when they'd written this stuff, and I said, "Listen, man, by the way, I just want to say I'm honored, and thank you for writing this stuff for me. As actors, there's a phrase where if a friend is going to give you something in their movie, they throw you a bone. I said, man, you don't throw me a bone, you throw me a steak, man."
And now we're going to go like deep into Fan Wank time. But he mentioned this bit that always played on my mind a little bit. Back on New Caprica, after the missing year, there's like an exchange between Tigh and Starbuck, and they give each other a hug, and you know, like the antagonism between those characters, it's quite surprising. And he mentioned it kind of unprompted, so this bit is quite cool.
Katie Sackhoff, I haven't had scenes with for quite a while, which is interesting because when we were down in New Caprica, and there was that thing where they'd lost a year. Remember, I said 1 year later. There was that great thing where Baltar put his head down and came back up, and he was the president down there, and all emaciated, and the women around him in the booze. And so 1 year. Well, then they had me going down on the planet and see Starbuck. When I went to watch Tyrrell giving this speech to the union. Then I turn around, there's Starbuck, and I give her a big hug, and we assume there's something gone on there, but we didn't know. Neither Starbuck nor I knew what was going on, because I hadn't seen her and we hadn't talked about it. Right? And we didn't really know, but it was great fun giving her a hug, because even though I still have no use for her personally, in battle, and as a military person or as a person, she would be the first one I picked to be by my side. So I could also see that Tigh just involuntarily grabs her and hugs her, and she returns it. And it's so good to see each other, someone from the past. And then after the hug, you go, "Just a second, I forgot I hate you." I forgot, I should be punching you in the head, not hugging you.
But as we all know, we've got like one half season left, and then that's going to be the end of Battlestar Galactica, and they've said that this will be an ending, and there's no way that the story could carry on because everything gets resolved. And obviously he isn't going to give anything away or spoil it, but was he happy with how it ends?
Yeah, I'm satisfied with what has gone on in the end. I'm not a writer, director, producer. I totally understand my capacity as an actor. I learned years ago that that's what I do. So people ask me, what about the script, or what about this and that? It doesn't even have to be Battlestar or anything. I can read a script and go, oh, that's and then see it and go, whoa, that's one of the most amazing pieces of writing I've ever seen. So I don't have a judgment on the way that things are, where the series is at the end of it. But when you ask it, I don't have any like, I have a problem with it.